Good morning. Welcome to JNR's podcast. I'm Randy.
And I'm Jessica. Today we're going to be talking about the abolitionist John Brown, who you may have heard of through one of the many events he participated in, like the Harper's Ferry.
John Brown was born in 1800 into an abolitionist family, his father being Owen Brown, born in 1771. Owen Brown was a very prominent figure during the time period, as well as John Brown was.
Before going into detail of certain events that could help you to the conclusion of if John Brown is a hero or not, one thing that could also affect this conclusion in his past is his past life. At his younger ages, John Brown was raised by an abolitionist father, which is backed by this quote: "I am an abolitionist. I know we are not loved by many. I have no confession to make for being one, yet I wish to tell how long, and now I've become so," which was stated by Owen Brown.
When reading this quote, you're able to see for yourself that the abolitionist belief in the family could have been passed down. This later possibly taken effect into the actions he participated in. This quote was found on History.com, and many more valuable information could be found there.
One of the first events was the Pottawatomie Creek Massacre.
The massacre stemmed from the settling of John Brown in Kansas to pursue a war on the focus of slavery. He began doing this by entering and storming a pro-slavery town named Pottawatomie Creek.
The purpose was to get revenge for the people who attacked Lawrence. The difference between the two attacks is no one was killed in Lawrence, whereas John Brown did the exact opposite.
Because of this, the South was outraged, therefore seeking more revenge.
After reading more into this event, I believe this is unfair. As you read, the attack on Lawrence was violent, but not as violent as John Brown's tactics. But why did John Brown think he had to one-up the violence?
Wouldn't you think that John Brown's actions were totally uncalled for? I believe so. The idea of stopping slavery was a great idea, but the way he went about it was definitely wrong. There could have been an alternative way of going about this.
This anger led to the big event, with the name of Harper's Ferry.
On October 16, 1859, John Brown led 21 men on a raid of the federal arsenal at Harper's Ferry, Virginia. His goal being to start an armed slave revolt to destroy the institution of slavery. History.com gives a good description of the raid at Harper's Ferry. They say that the raid was a failed attempt. This could be because of the location of Harper's Ferry. Looking at the current map today, Harper's Ferry is surrounded by two rivers, making it difficult to enter and exit the town.
Again, John Brown uses violence, but by this time the violence being more reasonable because of the reasoning behind it. This, in my opinion, being a smarter way, being there's good reasons to back up what he did.
My overall opinion of John Brown is I support his ideas and will stand behind him. But some of the ways he goes about these ideas could be changed. Again, we can use many different tactics to get his point across.
The whole idea of civil rights is to give people the rights they believe they deserve. The civil rights movement is a movement trying to improve society's civil rights. John Brown being one of the first stepping stones to improve the civil rights.
The actions, or stepping stones, are what later led to the Civil War in 1861. This war was an action which helped improve these civil rights, even though this war required more violence. John Brown just being one of the smaller stepping stones leading up to the war.
Many people could argue that John Brown's tactics in both events stated were unfair but reasonable with explanation. John Brown slashed people's heads off in the first event we listed. How, in any way, is that hero material?
It's not hero material. I believe that the idea of using the amount of violence isn't effective. There was other ways he could have went about it. If he went about this in a less violent way, this could have been more of a hero material.
A hero is someone who is admired or looked up to for outstanding achievements or good qualities. Does this definition of a hero match up with the person we just described, John Brown? In my opinion, it doesn't, even after the good achievements he did accomplish.
All in all, John Brown was a huge part of the civil rights movement, or as some people say, the grandfather of the civil rights movement. Yes, some of his ideas he participated in were very violent. There could have been an alternative way. But all in all, John Brown should have had more credit than he does.